Hey, Book Dragons, I am so glad that you joined me today. I have a book review for you today for...
New achievement! You read a book!
What?
You survived the first book of Dungeon Crawler Carl. Don't you feel special?
What's going on here?
Reward? You get to eat your words.
Okay, that was really weird. Was that weird for you? It was weird for me. Anyway, I'm doing a book review today for Dungeon Crawler Carl, which apparently I got a new achievement and reward for. So this was my very first time reading a LitRPG. I have always been on the fence about reading LitRPG because it just didn't feel like a natural book to me, or I didn't think it would be. If you're not familiar with LitRPG, it is a book that is written as if you were reading a video game or a role-playing game where you are leveling up, you're increasing your stats, you're trying to upgrade your different stats to make you more powerful and to make you more wise or to make you more charismatic, and you're finding new weapons in different rooms to upgrade your arsenal, things like that. So it feels like playing a video game except you're reading about it. And that's the best way that I can describe it. And I always felt like that was just a weird idea. And I wasn't sure if I would like it or not. But my partner has been reading the Dungeon Crawler Carl series, and she's up to book 5 now, I think. I think she just finished book 4. And she happened to have the audiobook, and we recently went on a trip to celebrate her birthday, and she was like, do you want to listen to the audiobook? I'm like, okay, sure, let's listen to the audiobook. And to be honest, I was pleasantly surprised at how much I enjoyed it. I wasn't sure what I would think, but I hear so many people on BookTube talking about how great Dungeon Crawler Carl is. I have other friends that have told me in the past that if I wanted a good place to start with LitRPG, it would be this series. So I am here today to tell you that I am sold on Dungeon Crawler Carl. That is not to say that I will read other LitRPGs, but Dungeon Crawler Carl does it really well, I think. And so let's talk a little bit about what Dungeon Crawler Carl is about. It follows Carl, of course. He lives in a flat with his ex-girlfriend's cat, Princess Donut, and I forget her full name, but basically throughout the whole story, you know her as Princess Donut. And they are just having a regular daily grind in their Earth apartment, and all of a sudden their apartment building starts sinking into the ground, and the whole Earth is just going wild and being consumed. And it turns out that the Earth is being demolished and subsumed by an alien race. And this alien race offers people the opportunity to save their world if they can complete a task that is created by the alien race. And the company is called the Borant Corporation. That is the alien company that is creating this dungeon scenario. And so it's just about a normal guy who gets thrown into a weird game show type of scenario. And I was reminded of a Doctor Who episode, actually. And let me see, I've got it right here. And it's the Doctor Who episode called Bad Wolf, or it's also known as Parting of the Ways. And it's where the Daleks create a game show world, and those who don't survive are basically killed. They cease to exist. They're exterminated, as the Daleks like to say. And so this kind of reminded me of that in a lot of ways, because the whole thing is, if you don't survive, you will die in this dungeon. And I found it unique from what I've heard about LitRPGs, because at the very beginning of the book, Carl doesn't even know what's going on. All of a sudden, he's seeing these screens pop up in kind of a heads-up display view in his eyes, and he's seeing his stats, and he's seeing inventories, and he's like, what the hell's going on? This isn't normal, and it's not. It's not what we would think of as normal in the real world. And so I really enjoyed that aspect of it, because he really draws you into the story by helping you understand what's going on along with him. You're learning about this whole different world that is out there along with Carl. And so that was quite unique. And he is ex-military, and so he is kind of used to doomsday type scenarios and doing battles, except now he's in a dungeon. And of course, his cat, Princess Donut, ends up in the dungeon with him. And she takes a cat treat early on that does things to her. And I'm not going to say what happens. You'll just need to read the book to find out. But let's just say that Princess Donut is an enhanced version of herself. And she is one of my favorite characters in the entire book. I absolutely love every scene with Princess Donut. She's just so funny, and in some ways she is way more powerful than Carl is. So it's really fun to see the different scenarios they get into. It's really nerdy. There's lots of pop culture references and laugh out loud moments that you might not get if you were not aware of certain references that they are making. But I just absolutely had a blast with it. It was so much fun. And all the different weapons and the different creatures that Carl and Donut have to fight, and the different boss levels that they have to make it through, and the snarky announcer once they complete a level and upgrade all their stats and things like that. And it's just wild and weird and so much fun. So I definitely recommend giving this series a try. It may not be for you. I loved it, but it's not like the best book I've ever read. I definitely give it, like, if it was on Goodreads, like a 4-star, whatever. I liked it, but it's not the best thing I've ever read, right? But it was definitely different and weird and quirky and off the wall, and that was great. I think that was something that I needed, and I would recommend anybody to give it a try. There are times that you're going to feel kind of jarred out of place, because when the announcer comes on, it's just like, new achievement! And you're going, okay, wow, this is a bit to get used to, but after a while, you just roll with it, and it's great. I did enjoy the audiobook better than I thought I would. I had heard from a friend that the narrator wasn't the greatest, and I will agree with that. It's not my favorite narrator, but I liked it okay enough that I will probably keep doing the audiobooks. because all the voices the narrator does are really, really good. He does the voice for Princess Donut, he does the announcer, he does other characters in the book that you would not think was him doing it, but he is. He's doing all of the voices, and they're excellent. And it's only really the voice of Carl himself that is a little weird to get used to, but apparently he is doing an impression of another voice actor that becomes more apparent later in the series. There's a specific reason for it. So I think I can jive with that. I think I can keep going with it. But I definitely recommend reading this series, at least giving the first book a try. And if you don't do audiobooks, that's great, because the ebooks are fine too, I'm sure. I believe all of the ebooks are on Kindle Unlimited right now if you're wanting to read those. And there's 7 books out in the series right now. And he is coming out with book 8, I think, sometime this year or possibly next year. So I'm there for it. I'm really happy I tried this. Took me out of my comfort zone, and I think that's what I needed. It was a quick read. The audiobook was like 13 hours. And if you like video games and you like tabletop RPGs, things like that, building your characters from scratch. And I do enjoy both of those things. I enjoy video games and I enjoy building new characters. I was a little bit familiar with some of the terminology in the book, but it's classic D&D stats. And I haven't played D&D a whole lot, but I'm familiar with it. And so that I didn't totally understand what was going on at first with all that, but you get used to it and you start understanding what the different terms mean. It's really good about walking you through that. So the only thing that I would say that is negative is it's just not typically my thing to read books like this. But I'm learning that it's good to get out of my comfort zone. So yeah, I definitely give this book a thumbs up. It was a great read, and I'm going to continue the series. I don't know when, probably not right away, but I am going to continue the series, and I hope you will try it out as well. Let me know in the comments below if you have read Dungeon Crawler Carl. What are your thoughts on it? Is it something that just didn't work for you and you stopped reading it? Or maybe you haven't read it yet and you're interested in checking it out. Let me know in the comments below. Let's have a chat about it. And until next time, guys, make sure you read more books. And if you want to watch more of my content, check out these suggestions here in the end screen.